Cricket Just the Facts, Zone Update 2, and now cricket again on this segment of the SportsMax Zone. This time, we're going around the region to update you on day one of round 3 in the Cricket West Indies 4-day championship, which resumed earlier on Wednesday. Now, we begin in St. Kitts and Nevis, here unbeaten centuries from West Indies wicketkeeper batsman Joshua Da Silva, 120, and Jason Mohammed, 104. Helped Trinidad and Tobago Red Force rack up 326 for 3 from 79.3 overs against leaders Leeward Islands Hurricanes at stumps at Warner Park. The recently capped Amir Jangu also contributed 50 for the Red Force against the figures of 2 for 75 from spinner Rakeem Cornwall. Now, in a rain-affected encounter over at Windsor Park in Dominica, hosts Windward Islands Volcanoes restricted the combined campuses and colleges to 137 for 5 from 52 overs. The Volcanoes were led by 2 wickets apiece from Daryl Cyrus, 2 for 28, and Kenneth Demba, 2 for 46. Opener Damel Evelyn will resume batting on 53. Evelyn for CCC. Meanwhile, the Barbados Pride will begin day 2 on 9 without loss, 222 runs behind the Jamaica Scorpions, having earlier dismissed the Scorpions for 231 in 67.5 overs. Chaim Holder, 3 for 66, led the Pride bowlers with strong support from Craig Brathwaite, 2 for 1, got those 2 wickets, the last 2 of the Scorpions innings. Jamil Warkan, 2 for 42, and Kemar Roach, 2 for 45. All-rounder Dean Smith top scored with 50, and Javor Royal, 43, one of the victims of Craig Brathwaite. All right, let's give you a live update on what's happening in the day-night encounter featuring the Guyana Harpy Eagles and the West Indies Academy. The Harpy Eagles 71 for 3 at this stage. Raymond Perez so far top scored with 29. Tevin Imlak, he fell for just 4 after his fine performance in the second round. Kevlin Anderson, he's not out on 18. He's been in good form. And Kemal Savory is on 17. Those are the batsmen at the crease. So they are 71 for 3 after 18.4 overs in that contest. They were, in fact, 37 for 3 at one stage in that encounter. Lance and Mariah, you know what has excited me about this round already is how players who are jostling for similar West Indies positions are responding to each other. So the Tevin Imlak came back from Pakistan, scored over 200 runs in round number 2, and Joshua Da Silva is saying, well, I'm still around, young man, and I still want a spot in that test side. Yeah. And he scores 100, which is exactly what you want from your players. This is what fighting for places mean. Yeah,
very competitive. It also shows that, you know, the players are feeling it. And one of the things we would have said on this show many times is that, you know, whenever the players are not performing, you just really have to pick from whatever you have. Out of the bunch, like whoever looks better, we just go with that. But this time around now, what we're seeing from the Windies 4-day championship is a lot of players are putting their hands up, and they're putting their hands up with competitive performances. And as you said, going against the other person who would actually be contesting for their place. I think West Indies cricket, they're in a good spot now. They have a lot to choose and refuse from, and that's exactly what you want. You want players to feel pressured into performing as opposed to knowing, well, you know, that spot is secured.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're in a good spot quite yet. By the way, that Guyana Harpy Eagles West Indies Academy game affected by rain, so rain has stopped play at the Providence Stadium in Guyana. The other thing as well, Lance and Mariah, what will the selectors, well, the system, do with Jason Mohammed?
He's
3
on fire.
consecutive centuries to start the regional 4-day season. He is 38 years old. He will be 39 this year. I got a message from a good friend today who asked me if his age will disqualify him from being selected.
No, I don't think it should, because if you have a younger player who's not scoring at the rate that he's scoring, I would go with the one that's scoring. What would you do, Lance? Well, I just want runs.
Yeah, the fact is he's never played Test cricket, Jason Mohammed. He has had some ODI representation for the West Indies, but you still have to put that against looking to the future. So if it is
So if
that,
the future looks a little dull right now, right?
but
and
it
we
doesn't.
need
We
to
were
get
just
some
saying
points.
that Imlach and there are other batsmen there who are scoring heavily. So if you have a choice between Imlach at 28 years old and Mohammed, who turns 39 in September, even if Mohammed scores more runs, I can understand the selectors going for the player that has more of a future with the team. But in principle, I don't have a problem with a 39-year-old making a West Indies team if it is that he's far outscoring the other players. In principle, I don't have an issue with it. But if it is just marginally over another player who is 10 years younger, I can understand. Having said that, the selection process now is completely different. We now have a new set of guidelines in how the teams are selected, and I don't know if that hurts or helps a Jason Mohammed.
What do you think?
Well, I think that now it's not close. Because right now you have a man who has gone 176, 103, and is not out on what, 105? Still going. He's batted 3 times so far this season, and he has scored 3 centuries. If he keeps this up, I don't know how on earth you pick a West Indies team, especially with 104. He's not out on 104, especially with a fragile batting lineup. How you don't pick a man who is scoring as many centuries as he is now, if he continues, of course.
Yes.
How do you leave him out?
Well, the Aussies will be here in June. So between now and the end of the tournament is what will decide how he stakes his claim. But you are right. If he continues to score at this rate, it's going to be hard to not pick him.
When is the next Windies press conference? We got some questions.
No, we're a long way away from the next test tour, but we've got to go to break on the SportsMax Zone. I'm very sure we'll be chatting about this some more, and I suspect there are some people somewhere in some corner hoping that he doesn't score too many more runs this season. Let's go to a break on the SportsMax Zone.